Who's gay? Who here is gay? Don't talk too loud because they'll find you. I just felt like hopping up on the mic and talking some shit because I haven't done it in like 2 weeks now or something because I've been busy with music. Someone can see me. Yeah. I had my little snitch software running, which blocks all my incoming connections. I forgot that I turned that shit on hard mode because Adobe has found out that I've been using their software illegally. Oops. Fuck you, Adobe. Suck my fucking dick. Does anybody know actually how I can find out exactly which software Adobe has noticed? I kind of assume that since they noticed one now, they noticed all of them. They got up into my shit. What's the perfect BMI? I don't know. Being body morphologically immaculate. I don't really have anything to talk about. What's up, homosexuals? This is gonna be the least. I just want to talk. I just miss you guys. What's up with you guys? What's up with guys? What's up with people? I haven't done any Adderall in 3 days. Are you proud of me? I'm trying to stop. I have a problem. This is me telling you I have a problem. I'm gonna die if I don't stop. Well, it's not the Adderall that's gonna kill me. It's how much I abuse it. It's not good to stay up for 3 days and then drive around and then like literally feel like you're forgetting English and shit because you stay up for 3 days like every week, twice a week, and then just bleh. I could just feel all this shit in my brain. Yeah. I mean, I would love to learn how to do it like recreationally, but I just the thing is, like, I don't know how to be normal with that shit. I'm really good at like doing drugs in moderation in general. Like even a thing like cocaine, like other people have a problem with it. I can do it like once and be like, I'm good for the night, you know, even if other people have it and have lines and like whatever. I'm like, meh. As soon as I'm over it, I'm over it. But like Adderall, I'll just keep going. I'll stay up for 4 or 5 days. And I just have to stay up. Like, I have to do this multiple times a week. It's like, it's not even that I'm addicted to the uppers. I'm addicted to sleep deprivation, I think. Seriously. I'm addicted to how it feels when you're deprived of sleep. And I do this so often and so constantly that I think it will really lead to serious health problems if I don't stop. Okay, Siboomer Train, you're not helping. Get out of here. You don't know what it's like to be me. Okay, thank you. Seriously, I'll listen to you when you can show me one other person that has the same problem I have, cause I know some like serious Adderall heads and nobody does what I do. So I'm not trying to hear it from nobody. Oh shit, nice. I'll take that. Bearded Legend. What's up, Bearded Legend from New Jersey? Anyway, I don't think this is like an official discussion on anything because, like I'm trying to say, I am not in the best place of mind right now, but I just wanted to talk a little bit. And I I titled this Astrology is Gay Fascism because I had a topic brought to us by Twitter. I noticed, maybe you guys saw this as well, that I don't need to take a nap. I'm not tired. I've been napping. I'm trying to tell you what my problem is. Anyway, I saw on Twitter that people are saying astrology is the stepping stone to fascism. And I'm like, bro, what? First of all, I'm mad Because I've been out here talking about how dumb astrology is for what, years now, and everyone wants to call me a fucking asshole. And like, where were all you motherfucking astrology is fascist people when I was out here by myself in the fucking trenches getting trench mouth fighting the astrology devils? Huh? Where were you? Nowhere. And now it's like you can't just say astrology's stupid. You have to say astrology's fascist. That has to be your excuse for why we can't do the astrology. Look at my glasses. Ew. What? What? Hi, Kill Alters. That's Kill Alters, everybody. Best band ever. Everyone, go listen to Kill Alters and suck my dick. Anyway, where were all you astrology as fascist people when I was out here by myself? Huh? I needed backup, and I received none. But anyway, I think it's annoying that people can't just dislike and preach against the evils of astrology because it's irrational. And all irrational thinking, I think, leads to bad things. They have to be like, it's fascist. Nazis do it. For people to not be into it. Why can't we just say that irrationality is a thing to be avoided? Isn't that crazy? That's like not an acceptable viewpoint yet. We can't just like say irrationality is bad. We're not there yet. But isn't it true that like it's all opinion, says Oblivious? Well, yeah, literally everything is opinions, right? But how do we come to agreements on anything, you know? What is our criteria for coming to, first of all, beliefs that we hold personally, and then agreeing on ideas with other people? I would say that the thing that informs this process more than anything is the criteria that we've established for rational thought, right? What's most rational seems to be what's most agreeable, you know? No, there's not a lot of contention around the idea that the sky is blue or the earth is round. Though, of course, thanks to the presence of flat earthers, that is contentious in certain circles now too, you know. And flat earthers are a group of Christians originally. And what do we disagree with Christians on too? The same kind of bullshit. Where did dinosaurs come from? How old is humanity? How old is the earth? You know. 12 signs, 12 numbers on a clock. Oh my god, chill, bro, chill. But this is why I'm annoyed that we can't just like seem to agree that what is irrational is most likely the most harmful and dumb idea to pursue. We have to like come up with some reason why it's evil and Nazis do it, and that's why we shouldn't pursue it. But it's like, dude, everything that is bad is irrational. And this is something I talk about a lot on this channel because it's something I believe so much, which is that everything that we can call immoral, quote unquote, is also simply irrational. I don't think racism is bad because it's bad to people. It's bad for certain groups of people. I think racism is bad because it's irrational. Sexism is bad because it's irrational. Jesus is bad because Jesus is irrational. Astrology is bad because it's irrational. Fascism is bad because it's irrational. Everything that is bad is irrational. Everything that is good is rational and logically consistent. And this is the criteria that we all use to establish what we agree on and what we disagree on anyway. Whether or not you refuse to admit this fact to yourself, it is true. And even, and this is just something I was talking about with somebody, my beloved Twitter friend. What was I saying? Even the most irrational, dumbest conclusions are still following a rational, logical process. The person who believes Jesus rose from the dead is still making a rational conclusion. Jesus rose from the dead is a rational conclusion. I mean, in the context of what I'm saying right now. I guess depending on how you define rational, you could say this or that, but I think the idea that I'm trying to relate to you will not be lost on you right now. This idea that they didn't just pull that out of their ass. It makes sense to them. It's consistent in some ways with the rest of their worldview. And that's all rationality really is, right? Logical consistency. Get the fuck out of here. The fuck you think you're doing, boy? The fuck out my kitchen. Yeah, that's right. Go back in that room like a coward. Like a coward. Goddamn homosexual. Someone says races are different. No. No, they're really not. Races don't even exist. That's why we say race is a construct. Because the lines that we've drawn, our racial boundary lines, are so arbitrary. Like, drawing a line between white people and black people is just as biologically significant as drawing a line between white people with blue eyes and white people with green eyes, you know. This is why people say that race is a construct. It's not that there's no reason. There's obviously a biological differences between the races that are observable. But the point is, you could have drawn them any which way. You could have made blonde-haired people a race and brown-haired people a race. You could have made people with black eyes, people with brown eyes, people with blue eyes, all different races. The things that we chose to create the racial boundary lines on are so arbitrary and so stupid. It's not just skin color. We are different. I found the Illuminati racist. No, we're not different. We're different culturally, obviously. And, you know, especially the longer we propagate these arbitrary racial categories, the longer and the more distinctly different our racial cultural differences will become. But we are not different in any meaningful way, except for things like between certain populations, like maybe disease prevalence. It really depends on which categories too you're comparing. Like between Caucasians, or like, I don't even know the races actually. There's like, I saw this chart recently and I wasn't familiar with half of the terms. But white people and like Asian people, Eastern Asian people, like I can be more biologically similar to an East Asian person than to an Irish person, you know. Like, we're really not different at all. But then, of course, you know, there are more, like, actually statistically meaningful differences. Like, I believe certain diseases are more corollary with, like, you know, white people versus people with, like, more melanin in their skin. Like, I believe that lupus affects, like, black populations disproportionately. And certain kinds of cancers are more prevalent in Caucasians than they are in certain groups of black people. This kind of thing, but you know, it makes sense, especially when you talk about things like skin cancer and such. If our skin is the thing that we made a different racial category for, it makes a lot of fucking sense, doesn't it? you know, just like if we decided to make hair or eyes the category marker, then it would make sense that like the most significant differences among races, if it were eyes for example, would be like an eye cancer or like vision problems, you know. So it makes sense that like skin disease is like a thing that affects our different races mostly, because like that's like the biological marker we use to create the races. How your skin looks. What color is it? No, we're really not different. Why are you just gonna keep saying this? Why don't you give an example, huh? How are we so different? Tell us how we're different. You seem like you want to say something. Just fucking say it. Sin boldly. You got something to say? Fucking say it. Put it out there. Oh my god. I think you're a troll. Black people have different skulls? Please. So do women and men. You know, women's heads are a lot tinier than men's heads. Are we gonna start doing phrenology in here? Get out of here. I'm over you. Yeah, no shit. Our skulls are different. Huh, my skull is different than probably everyone else's skull in here, too. Like, skulls are different. Wow, your skull's different. I mean, we have different facial features for the most part, too. Like, that's probably because our skulls are different, right? Duh. I don't know what you're talking about. That's why women and men are different. Yeah, alright. Anyway. Yeah, you're right. We're not the same. My only point is that everything that people say is different is usually not true. Everything that makes us different is pretty arbitrary and dumb. Things like skin cancer and lupus and fucking having a wider or a tinier nose or whatever, which is the whole reason we created these categories, because we're aesthetically different. No one's arguing about that. Having a different skull, even, that's an aesthetic difference. Your skull determines what your face looks like, right? That's why forensic experts find out what missing people look like when they take their skull and then they draw their face. Everyone's skull is different. Your skull will largely determine your facial features. Bethany is gay. That's right, Cammy. I'm gay. I'm so gay. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, fascism. Yeah, so it's okay. So, what people were saying with astrology and fascism, and look, I like to be a contrarian. I'm annoying. I actually totally got their point, and I understand it. And I hate astrology, so I want to be like, yeah, I agree. But I honestly don't totally agree. This person was basically putting forth that, um, because astrology basically puts people into these arbitrary categories, kind of like how we're kind of talking about right now with race and such, that they're they're saying that, you know, people have these different sorts of immutable categories based on what time they were born and where, whatever, and this will determine this or that factor about like your personality and maybe even how you look or something. And I think that's what inspired this person to say what they said, because there's this other thread going around on Twitter that's basically talking about how the signs look different. They physically look different. Like, I think it was about like Sagittarius people having horse faces or something. They said like Taylor Swift and someone else had like a horse face. Which, oh my god, guys, maybe. But they were saying that this is like a stepping stone to like fascism. And it's like, no, I don't agree with that, because yes, I've been watching Unnatural Selection on Netflix. That shit is nuts. Let's talk about that instead, actually. But wait, let me finish my thought. The reason that I don't agree with framing it this way is because fascism, like I was saying before, is bad because it's irrational. Just like astrology is bad because it's irrational. Everything that is irrational can be and is bad and can lead to much potential harm. So for me, there's no point in saying like astrology is a stepping stone to fascism. I would just say that fascism is a bad ideology because it's irrational. Astrology is bad ideology because it's irrational. And so obviously fascism can easily and does easily weaponize like different sorts of spiritual beliefs or beliefs founded on totally irrational platforms such as spirituality in general, any sort of spirituality. And like, you know, the Nazis historically like love random occult bullshit. That's why we got Indiana Jones and shit with the Nazis looking for the Ark of the Covenant and shit. Cause that's like not totally unrealistic from the kind of shit they were doing. And Nazis did love that shit. Like Jung was a Nazi, wasn't he? And he's all about like archetypes and like categorizing personality types and astrology and all this shit. Like fascism definitely loves this kind of astrological bullshit, but I wouldn't say that means that astrology is a stepping stone to them, you know, because everything that's bad about astrology is the same thing that's bad about Christianity and that's bad about Islam and that's bad about Buddhism. So to me, there's no point in like saying that it's a stepping stone to fascism. Only that all bad ideology can lead to more bad ideology and really harmful ideology and harmful political ideology like fascism. But anyway, Unnatural Selection on Netflix, I've been watching that. That's crazy. Dude, I had no idea that it got that real. The part where they showed the two rats, the one rat that was like super elderly, and then they brought out the other rat that was the same exact age, its sibling, and they'd done like weird stem cell research on, and it looked like a fucking like baby rat compared to the old rat. Are you kidding me? This technology is already out there. They've already found ways to increase lifespans by 33%. Are you kidding me? Where is that shit? Give me that. I'll inject myself with that right fucking now. If you give me that, I will do that. Give me that. You know, someone has already done that to themselves. If that exists, the scientists are just handling these rats like, oh yeah, look, we made this rat like 30% younger. It's going to live 30% longer. And it's got 30% more longevity and it's so much healthier. Like, who? The scientists handling these fucking rats, you know, one of them they've done that shit to themselves. How could you not? There's probably scientists out here that like have already reverse aged themselves like 30 something years. Give me that. Give me that. I'm about to get a CRISPR kit and figure out how this shit works and do it to myself because, yeah. I'm stupid though. I'll be one of the side effects sound terrifying for this shit. Oh my god. They're saying like you could become allergic to your own muscles. Your immune system could start rejecting your muscular system. Imagine what kind of a painful death that would be. Holy shit. Unless maybe it would just give you like a fucking heart attack immediately or something. Please give me your drugs. I'll do your drugs. No, they're mine. What if I need them? I'm trying to calm down, okay? I don't want the drugs to be gone. I want them to be under control. But what's the point in reverse age and you get hit by a car the next day? I don't know. You get hit by a car when you're like 20 years younger. You'd still have a little higher likelihood of surviving, right? If I got hit by a car as an 80-year-old versus as a 60-year-old, I imagine I have a higher chance of surviving as a 60-year-old, right? Right? Shit. Anyway, astrology's gay fascism. The gay people want us to believe in astrology. I see you all. I know what you're doing. Stop. Stop trying to corrupt our heterosexual minds. What's my sign? Why don't you guess? Do we have any astrology believers in here? I dare you to guess my sign. Half of you know my birthday, though. I mean, let me not remind you. Am I a Scorpio? You sound like a Scorpio. Trendell, you know my sign, stupid. You know my sign. You're dumb. Every time I tell people to guess, I mean, Trendell's just fucking around because I know he knows mine. Because Trendell likes astrology. But every time I tell people to guess, nobody gets it right. Because guess what? It's all stupid. I'm tired. I need drugs. Capricorn Rising. It sounds like a Kenneth Anger film. I want to talk about The Lighthouse, but I feel like people in here probably don't want spoilers, right? I mean, I won't spoil anything. I really just want to talk about it. Ugh, can I or no? Somebody say don't talk about it if you don't want me to. Can I? Can I do it? Can I talk about the lighthouse? Did anyone see it? I saw it. Alright, fine. I won't talk about it. Oh, I have so many thoughts. Alright, I won't. No, I won't. I wouldn't spoil it, but I don't like to go into movies knowing literally anything, even if other people like it, so I won't do that to other people. You didn't come in here thinking I would talk about The Lighthouse, so I'm not gonna talk about The Lighthouse. No, don't leave. I'm not gonna. Yeah. I think that all astrology, all spirituality, it's all bad. Bad. Someone said that was fascist of me. That I said all spirituality is harmful. As if I said, like, that means you should ban it. I just think it's harmful because it's stupid. I think everything that is stupid is harmful. You're harming yourself by being stupid. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Why are you going to be dumb to yourself? Why don't you be nice to yourself? And give yourself the good shit. Huh? Make a thread about it on Twit? No. I'll just... No. Yeah. What makes it harmful? Well, because I think, like I was saying before, everything that is bad is irrational, right? Can you think of anything that's just bad? That isn't irrational, but is bad? I'm currently writing an essay analyzing an article from a phenomenological perspective. What do you mean? What's the article? Tell us about it. What if it helps some people from killing? What do you mean helps some people from killing? Anybody who's like only not committing murder because they said like Jesus tells them not to or something, that person should be locked away anyway. I'm not going to like hold on to a thread hoping that this person's worldview doesn't just collapse one day and then they start killing because I don't know what happened. I'm not gonna risk that. I don't want to be around that person. That person should not be around other people. I would consider organized religion to be more harmful than spirituality. I think that they're all the same. If anything, I think spirituality is like maybe worse just because it's harder to see what's bad about it, you know. I think that any system of thinking where you have to resign that you don't understand it completely and that you're just going to have to accept certain things that might not make sense. I think that that's just ascetic and that's bad for you. And it can lead you to really down a really dangerous path, you know. But that's not why I think it's bad, you know. I just see it, it's like a drug. It's just like organized religion. It's like you're telling yourself something. Lobster Child says astrology is the exact same reason people live behind religion. It's a bizarre concept to give people some sense of order, of control. Well, you know, honestly, I kind of feel like it's a thing that actually gives people contentment and feeling like they have no control, which is part of why I really dislike it, you know, because like astrology, just like religion, basically tells you, like, you know how in Christianity you're told that God's ways are mysterious, you know. There's some things you cannot know. And in that sense, there's this figure that knows everything while you know nothing, or can at least never know everything. And God just has this knowledge that is inaccessible to you. I feel like astrology is the same exact thing, you know. It's that there's this system of knowing, and it contains hidden truths that you could never hope to access in your finite, puny human wisdom and thinking. And so, in many ways, it's putting forth this idea that you're not in control, and that's okay. And I think that makes people feel better. So, I don't even think it's really about exercising or having control, it's about feeling better about the fact that you don't have control, you know? So you're not a blue pill type of person? What's a blue pill person? I forget what the blue pill does. If the Matrix guy gave me the blue pill and the red pill, you know what I would do? I would take them both at the same time. I'd be like, what do you think would happen? That's what I would do. I worship energy and nature. Guys, please, please, you're killing me. Do you think the people who believe in these things are just not as logical as you? No, not at all. I think that we're all equally logical. I think that the problem is that we aren't following the same criteria the same ways. Like, and this is where we come to our disagreements. It's not that I'm more logical than the person who believes in Jesus. Like I said, I think that believing in Christ, Jesus, our Lord, is also a logical conclusion. Christians don't just believe in Jesus for no reason. They believe in Jesus because they observe the world around them. They think that, wow, nature is so magnificent and amazing. I'm so magnificent and amazing. This life is so amazing. There had to have been a being that created it and that put me here. And they observe this thing called Christianity, which already exists, and they think it makes sense. That's a logical conclusion. These people are, Christians are entirely logical. The same process that brings someone to conclude that Christ is Lord is the same process that lets me conclude Jesus is fake and astrology is gay fascism. You know, the problem is that we're accessing the criteria for what constitutes a good thought in different ways. Now, of course, I will argue that I'm the person doing it more correctly. And I am because, bitch, that's what I do. But that doesn't mean I'm more logical, and I'm also open to being wrong. They could show me, like, actually, I'm the one that's doing what we say we're both doing. more consistently with how we're doing it everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because we have common platforms for everything we believe. Like, me and the Christian both believe we exist in this observable universe. We both believe that the sky is blue. We both believe that the phenomena of dinosaur bones exist. Whether or not actual dinosaur bones exist, because many Christians will tell you that there are no literal dinosaur bones and that they're like made up or something by the gay Illuminati. Do I believe in past lives? Absolutely not. Who do you guys think I am? I believe that religion tends to indoctrinate and instills a sense of moral superiority. Self-sought after spirituality can be enlightening. What do you think? No, I don't think so. Why do you say that? I don't believe that. I just don't believe in spirituality as a thing to pursue, period. Like, why would I, you know? Like, could you tell me why I would pursue spirituality in the first place? Like, what is it that should make me feel compelled to even pursue a thing called spirituality, you know? I think life is, like, amazing and incredible. But I find fulfillment in, like, resigning to the fact that there is no rhyme or reason that I can map onto all of nature, you know? Because all spirituality is just man made, and it's us trying to rationalize our experience of being in the world, which is like the most incredible, beautiful thing ever. Like, of course, we're going to try to make sense out of it, but I think that that's a vain effort. I don't think I can make perfect sense out of everything around me. I think that it's sort of sad that people feel this need to do this. I mean, I feel the need as well. Like, I love trying to rationalize my surroundings and being in the world, but ultimately I have to conclude that, like, this process will only take me so far because it's a finite process, you know? And I know that words and language and human understanding just don't map perfectly onto the world. It only maps onto, like, what can be made logically consistent. Things like color. And even color is not logically consistent, you know? Like, we won't always agree on whether or not a thing is green, because once it starts to become yellow enough, someone else is going to say, no, that's yellow. And I'll say, no, that's a lime green. And they'll say, no, it's a chartreuse or whatever. Like, even color is not a perfect concept. Why don't I believe in reincarnation? It's plausible. Anything is plausible, though, you know? I don't believe in reincarnation because there's nothing that's ever made me believe in reincarnation. That doesn't mean it's not plausible. I think literally anything is plausible. It's plausible that Jesus is real, but I don't believe in Jesus either. Why would I believe in either Jesus or reincarnation, you know? Like, what is one of those things seem like they should be real? Look up Radiolab Blue Sky. It's about color. Okay, I will. I'll look it up. Yeah, I agree. Ghosts aren't necessarily real, but we know there is energy left over from the past in situations. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why I would be energy. Like, look, I just did that with my hand real fast. What just happened to that energy when I clapped my hands? Did I just make a ghost? Maybe I did. Maybe I just created a ghost. What the fuck? I just made a ghost. Can that be a ghost, you know? Why would that not, what would make it more likely that, like, myself as Bethany, the person talking right now with a personality, is made of energy any more than like me clapping my hands really fast. That was energy. That took energy. Maybe that just made a ghost, you know? What's the difference? Maybe there are ghosts, sure. Maybe every time I move, a ghost is created because I'm expending energy. I'm making so many tiny ghosts right now doing this with my hands. Boo! 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 How do I feel about Terrence McKenna? I love penis envy mushrooms. He, if I'm not mistaken, is the reason those exist. They're my favorite kind of mushrooms. They don't drop spores, that's why they're hard to come by, but they have 2.5 times as much psilocybin concentration. Shout out to Terrence McKenna for making that happen for me because I love penis envy mushrooms. As far as the whole stoned ape thing, no, definitely think that's absurd. Don't agree with that at all. Because again, I don't think there's any, well, I'm saying again, maybe because I've talked about it a million times, but not tonight. I don't think that there's anything fundamentally different about human consciousness or rationale than any sort of other animal. I'm not so vain. I think that all animals are thinking, conscious beings. And what separates human consciousness from most other animal consciousness is simply our ability to create complex language. And complex language is really the thing that elevates us into this whole other conceptual realm where we can sit here and have these sorts of discussions about what is consciousness and what is Terrence McKenna and what are ghosts and what are this and what is that. But animals thinking is not of some other metaphysical substrate, you know. Alright, guys, I think I've said enough here. I just wanted to hop on real quick, let you know I'm still alive, because I haven't done this in a minute. This is probably the least organized thing ever. Just want to let you know astrology is gay fascism. So stay heterosexual out there. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.